Yes? What is it? Well, raising 2 children and half a husband on a patrol officer's wage? Yes, I guess I am working class. No. Okay, sort of.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? I'm sure he's fucking flattered, but Kim is not part of this thought experiment.
The lieutenant is silent.
No, because in this thought experiment we are police officers. In a police station. We don't do crimes, we're not crime bros.
Come on, stop it. This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but... Police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by this sunglassed man. Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness. Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. Yes, just cross it off the...
Again? I can't. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay.
Jean.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. About fucking.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme. Hi again, gendarme.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Can I help you? No, you don't.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
The Whirling's not a charity or a musical therapy clinic. It's a commercial. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44. A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke. Okay, yes, it's for some clients. Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing.
I'm having it uninstalled. Oh yeah, time to do the damage. The stage is all set up for your performance. You feel a little dizzy, a little...
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an hands. Where do you put your hands? The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any. You're sweat. They are going to hate you.
I can see that.
There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Get a load of this rock and roll cop here, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off. Repercussions, there's a high risk of glory. It will help you concentrate a bit. It only lets you concentrate because you're in nicotine withdrawal. Blah, blah, blah. Boring. Light it up. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for the stage is all you feel it.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The air is thick. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-San, though it once was larger. how the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there. Toward the Seven Sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you. The microphone amplifies your voice in an uncomfortable...
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the mic.
Last words?
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right? It was all right. Subdued. I might start letting people up there again. Now, what can I do for you?
The man ponders his cooking ut.
Again? I can't.
Yes? What is it? That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't...
Jean, he's not right. Don't make it worse, and I really liked it.
She actually did.
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were...
Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. A rifle, Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez or anywhere in Ravachol. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech-load. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzleloaders.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, but back to the investigation. Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Oh, sorry.
Host Almighty.
It's too late now, officer. You got back too late. The prick survived all the bullets, swords, and explosion just to die of a heart attack. Ironic, isn't it? Even keep it. It's not even a real bull. Besides, it doesn't really matter now. I've never...
We will never play Petanque again.
Yes? What about... Yes.
He find...
We all got...
We are both...
It is what it is. I just don't...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? On the contrary, officer. There are yet camionneurs you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this...
They must have someone in an overlooked position.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects. That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the...
She wants to answer the question.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about what is all of this? The scent.
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the...
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
The world is a suzerainty of Revachol.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos in Elysium. It does. There are those who would call it hell. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists. Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways. We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launched.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a... Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be. They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound. You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it. See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glass.
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of...
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do.
His voice is low, but firm.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else. I don't think your colleague would appreciate. Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside. Is what you want to do. But should you? He expressly stated you shouldn't hear about it.
Yes? Glad to have been of assistance. The little bat.
All around.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. More lessons in basic reality?
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Fine.
See? What can he do? You're...
Are you sure you're sure? Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear. Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being. No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even...
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
Yes. That is enough. An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and...
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something... The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers. Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost. Or having our minds extensively. Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology.
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue. It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. some degraded early memories. Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job.
You should ask the pal driver about this. See what that poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Up to my gills, officer. Entreponetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000...
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
There are signs of pretermodern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but in nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended. Once you've crossed from near Pale, in essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping. What do you think, Detective? Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth.
One and all. They say Pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Yes, sweet reality. But is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale? You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then... I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him.
Some of that assurance is meant for herself.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one big...
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now? But I did.
Damn it, you're a grown man, the lieutenant thinks. Shouldn't have gotten protective hair.
I am happy to oblige. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. Yes, and you found him. Didn't she repeatedly tell you? But he is missing. You heard her, the worry in her voice. There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather. And what is that?
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the bail, and now he's talking to everyone about it. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and...
It's death, but for the universe, oh, we're contemplating the living shit out of this.
Exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in pay.
No offense. But your partner? Seems like a bit of an idiot.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mesk.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the the smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent of Dolores Day. Heroic doses, Herifia. Heroic. Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. When you've seen it all go away like that. Rolling off like the sea. And then come back to this? What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just keep like looking into the ocean at night. In the dark. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined. Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia.
In the belly of an airship, behind the steel windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it. No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
The wheels all small and round, multi-axle trailers.
Yes. They say there is a point, one that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south? It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not pale drivers. Way beyond the established pale that's lit by radio frequencies and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from. No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child growing on the lake. Josiana.
There is nothing more to do now. She's far away. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable...
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective. Let's get some air. This one's far gone.
Someone shot him in the heart. The monument stand. Not a good as you look up. You could push him by asking him to show you the soul.
Been admiring the stompers, right? For sure. I can demo.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see the wind howls over the bay of Rivershore. A cascade of cold air flowing through the tangled sea.
It sure is. Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny. You'll see when the time comes, officer. True patriots carry Revachol in their veins.
Technically, you're stomping on Revachol.
I know you people don't understand poetry.
Hola, wandering man. Los Ardis? They're sort of like you.
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighborhood vigilante?
Why not? Must be nice being something else for it.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority, yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn all the while talking racist shit? Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints. Of course you are. E.
Yeah. Callie said you've been hanging around the adult diaper shop, browsing the aisles.
Now that I can believe. And
Yes, shit, feces, poop, scatological jokes.
You don't have to be the butt of every joke. You're making...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear that you're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
Stop shitting your pants. The law handle.
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
No, asshole. You're nobody.
Stop yelling about the goddamn law in my estate!
Let's just all cool off. We had